to the final episode of Lost Season 1. We All Everybody, another Lost Rewatch podcast. My co-host Shannon, Paul. Guys, congratulations. At some point, yeah, applause for us. At some points in the week, this felt like it would never end. Felt like it would go on forever, as far as I was concerned. He's still clapping, folks. He's so ecstatic.
But we did it. We outlasted the Queen.
Our one goal was to beat the Queen. So in honor of that old gal taking her final steps, let's take a moment of silence for a karaoke version of God Save the Queen.
Oh, this is great.
Can you hear it at all?
There we go.
There we go.
I tried to get a Union Jack. They're out of them.
Of course.
Shelves are empty.
Bought them up yesterday. That's good enough. And of course, that song means our good friend Eric Zapata is back on the show.
That's
Eric,
my
buddy.
theme.
That's yesterday, while all the Brits were mourning, Eric stole that as his theme.
Yeah, I was like, you don't need this anymore. Give it.
That's like when you walk down the ramp at wrestling events. You play the.
Oh yeah, everyone boos.
Boo! You go, shut up, wankers.
Have you guys been watching all the Irish people partying?
No,
I have seen some clips.
Oh, they're so happy.
Yeah, that's right. The Irish really do not like the British. Right?
Well, I mean, let's be fair. The Brits did attack Ireland a lot.
My guess is a lot of people are pretty happy.
I mean,
from a lot of countries.
When you were an empire for so long, and then you changed, we're the Commonwealth now, and we're not so bad, right? We still own all this property.
I don't get why
it's still on money.
Why it's been the headline on our news for like 2 days now. It's sick. It's disgusting. Well, it's not even our country.
Our country loves when they can do a little sleight of hand, right?
Well, I think our country wishes that we had a king and queen. Honestly,
think about this, Paul. She has reigned there for close to 30% of America's existence. That's a mind-numbing figure.
And about 8% of that was lost on the air on ABC
during this timeline. She was killing people.
Our friend Tom has a lot of
Turn it on. I have to see what's in the latch.
Oh, lock, you scoundrel.
Get in here, corgis.
But she's just a figurehead, right? She doesn't actually do anything.
They got no power, Paul. These freaks. We did fight a war to get under their thumb. And here we are mourning their dead queen.
They do pay for everything for them, and they have a shit ton of stuff. So it is a little... there's plenty of Brits that are done with the monarchy, man. They hate it.
Lest we forget, they killed Princess Diana.
Yeah, true.
The monsters. Listen, we're not here to ruminate on the queen and her life and legacy.
Listen.
We're here to talk about the final episode of Lost Season 1, Exodus Part 3. And if I could just get it right out of the way, Eric, we tricked you into watching 6 episodes of Lost for this podcast.
You tricked me. I was mad.
A good quarter of it. So
I waited way too long. I waited till last night to start watching all 3 of them. And I was like, I'll get to it during this week. And I just kept putting it off for work and stuff. And we're doing splits right now. So we're working late, like 3 a.m., 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And last night I was pacing around stressed. I was like, oh my God, I haven't watched one episode. I'm not going to know what's going on. And I was trying to figure out when I was going to get in the episodes because we were so busy. And I was like, I'm just going to watch it on my phone right here. I just ran away from set and went up to a house stoop because we're shooting in a neighborhood in Savannah. And I was just like, I don't know what's going on. But I was just trying to skip commercials and get the idea. But I got it done.
Well, kudos to you, man. Eric is working on the Fear of the Walking Dead right now in Georgia, and he sounds like very hectically watched 3 episodes last night while on set.
Well, only the first one was hectic, and the next 2, I got to go back to the trailer and actually sit down and watch them. So that was kind of fun.
That's good. No, nobody on set questioned what you were watching at any point in the evening?
No, people watch stuff like that all the time because there's so much downtime. People are watching stuff on their phones.
Everyone's watching Lost.
Yeah, everyone's watching Fear the Walking Dead because they love the show so much.
They got to juice the numbers.
They had to look it up.
They're watching A World Beyond.
I read the synopsis for whatever the new one is, which involves Daryl being in Europe somehow.
Yeah, he's in Paris, or that's where it takes place anyway.
Are boats working in this universe at this point?
don't
I haven't
know.
watched it in a while.
I don't know what.
It's 28 days. It's just doing 28 days later over there. He goes, they're running around now. They can run.
Honestly, I feel like Walking Dead and Lost share a lot of connections.
DNA for sure.
A lot of different
Pilot,
characters.
one of the all-time great pilots.
Walking Dead had a great pilot, that's for sure. And
One of the
now,
best
of course,
pilots.
they never spun off Lost into any shows like Fear the Walking Dead.
I bet they talked about it, right? They had to have.
I mean, they could honestly bring it back, and it would probably be a big hit. Like if you brought Lost back, and now we're continuing the story, it'd be just like this fucking new House of Dragons show. Everyone would eat it up with a big spoon.
Big
Called
spoon. That
A
looks
big
like
spoon.
Hurley's face. Hurley's big face on a spoon.
And it says "Whoa, dude" on the
Yeah.
handle.
And then they can make fun of his weight a lot on the show. It's always a point of story, and I feel bad.
You know,
It was the early 2000s. It's normal back then.
I found a clip of Hurley on the show Becker, starring Ted Danson, and in that clip, they also just make fun of his weight. This poor guy.
Poor
Like
guy.
his whole career was just being made fun of for being fat.
I kept thinking he was in Curb for some reason at some point, but I don't think he was in Curb.
He's in the episode of Curb where Larry buys weed. He's the guy who sells Larry weed.
He goes,
Great
"Hey,
episode.
fatso."
Yeah, you're fat. Oh, why did I say that?
Oh, I was thinking I wasn't going to say it out loud. Oh.
I shouldn't have said that.
You're fatter than that guy that got kicked off the Goldbergs, isn't he, Jeff? Bah, 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 bah.
Don't worry, Jeff. Your job's secure here on HBO Max.
We should do a Goldberg show.
Yeah, well, our next show is going to be the Goldbergs. We're going to watch all 12 seasons of it. Somehow they're still in the 80s. I don't know.
They killed him off screen. It's so funny.
I can't believe it.
They just come back and they're just not talking about their dead dad.
Do you still watch the Goldberg, Shannon? You know you were a fan.
No, you know what? I gave up, and I really wish I hadn't, because I got almost all the way up until the Jeff Goldblum is a digital monster.
Jeff Garland.
Jeff Garland, yeah. Jeff Goldblum is good. He's fine.
Jeff Goldblum has never lost his touch, it turns out.
Goldblum, not a Goldberg.
So if it sounds like we're vamping and not getting to Paul's perspective, that's because Paul's perspective is still rendering. Paul, what's the update on that bad boy?
Well, it's still auto-aggressive samples generating. We can
But
get...
now you have something, right?
Yeah, let's just do it.
So
let's
all right.
talk
So
about Saul. Okay, so Saul was great. We all loved it.
hold on, let Paul turn it up. I can't barely hear.
Hello and welcome to Paul's Final Perspective. I'm Tom Hanks. The first season of the television series Lost commenced airing in the
Yeah,
United
we got Tom, Eric.
on September 22, 2004.
Whoa.
Concluded on May 25, 2005.
Got you up real
Themed
quick.
25 episode.
Oh, come on.
It introduces the 48 survivors of a plane that broke
did they
apart
get 'em?
in midair, scattering them on a remote island somewhere in the South Pacific. Forced to work together to survive, they come to realize
He's reading the Wikipedia entry.
Must have
the
cost
pilot episode garnered 18.6 million viewers, winning the 9 p.m. time slot and giving ABC its strongest rating since 2000.
Oh my
when
god.
Hulu aired. Beaten only the following month by the premiere of Desperate Housewives,
That was a big premiere.
snarky Jack and friends
Mark Cherry, baby.
on a mission that started what seems like forever ago to blow up the stupid latch. Perspective of episode 24, season 1 of Lost.
So that last clip was from the because it's not finished rendering. So
Oh, so that was your perspective from last week. You're telling me?
yeah, so it's still rendering, but the end of this week's went to Rotten Tomatoes and I took all the negative critiques of the season 1, and I put that into text and let Tom say it. So
No wonder Tom's freaking out on your computer right now.
it was surprising there wasn't that many. There's only 2 that
Is it
negatively
Pittsburgh?
critiqued season 1.
In this episode, Kate starts twerking with Megan Thee Stallion, and it ruined my life.
My son Chase got so mad, left the room. So Eric, and Paul, then what did y'all think of this finale overall? Eric, you watched all 3 episodes of the finale. Ideally, you were going to be on last week, and I was just going to have you watch the first 2, and not make you watch the 3rd one. But hey, you'd rather spend quality time with your loved ones.
It was interesting. It was great. I was excited to see the some continuation of the story of the Asian couple. I forget their names.
That's why I wanted you. Even though you forgot their names, that's why I wanted you to watch those episodes.
Yeah, I know, it was great. Every time they came back, I mean, because I was working. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't totally invested in each and every second of all the episodes. But
hey, Paul hasn't been once. Don't worry.
When I heard them on my headphones, I would look over and just like become very invested in what was, because obviously, and also I have to read the subtitles. But like I was like, "Whoa, what's going on with them?" Still, the best acting in the episodes.
That I think of the whole finale, their little goodbye at the raft when they launched the raft is probably my favorite part.
Very sad.
Overall, it's very sad. It's very well acted. Their flashbacks are great with someone calling her memories of a geisha.
Yeah,
and then him having a bathroom encounter with a Korean Australian spy.
That was pretty good. I loved it. I mean, that aspect of it, I definitely was interested. I just really wanted to see more episodes of them, I guess, at the end of the day. It was like there was all this other stuff they're trying to shoehorn in, all this, these other characters' backstories and stuff. I was like, whatever, get them out of here.
Well, buddy, you're in luck. You got 1 to 2 episodes every 25 episodes for 5 more seasons.
I'm trying to think about other Jin. Jin's Son have some other pretty decent flashback episodes. I don't know if their flashbacks ever progress better than season 1, though, to be fair. But they have some of the best flashbacks in season 1.
Yeah, it sounds like they probably used the juiciest stuff in season 1. That was pretty fun.
You also are very familiar with Hurley and his weight problem, but also his issues with the numbers, and you get a little bit of that in this part 3 episode. What did you think about that? You too, Paul. What did you think about that? You kind of seem to not give a shit about these numbers.
Well, I'm going to I kind of relate to this review I found on Rotten Tomatoes. So through most of Lost, we've got to wade through a load of narcissistic, look deep within bumwash, whiny self-obsession masquerading as a spiritual quest. I can see that.
Popular phrase back then in 2005, bumwash.
I can see that. I mean, a lot of it.
Sorry, Paul. I'm gonna let you finish. Please tell me you have some clip of Tom Hanks saying "bumwash."
I was trying. It's still rendering right now.
All right, good. Continue.
We hope by the end of this episode we'll have Tom Hanks saying "bumwash," and Eric will be gobsmacked.
I mean, I think that's especially true of Kate's backstory. It's just, come on, like
it's bumwash.
They're trying to make it seem deeper than it is. She's just a con lady, just like the other con people on this show. Which is, there's a couple of them, right? Like there's
name them off.
Wild Man, Kate, Jin in a way because he's part of the Yakuza or something.
Corporate con.
Michael kind of is a way too because he's not really his son's, like wanted to take care of his son.
He really has no idea how to run a boat.
He's not really a boat engineer.
Yeah, why did they have him run the boat? Pretty bad.
Jin feels like Jin's family comes from fishermen at least.
Boat people, yeah.
Boat people.
Right.
I guess he can't say starboard.
Oh, that's why I knew how to tie those knots that look like meatballs.
It's a Korean meatball knot.
See?
So I am not motivated to see any more of Lost ever.
Wow.
Like for the rest of time.
It seems a bit saturated. Even I felt like that in this last episode. They were just trying so hard to get to everyone's stories, and I'm like, not all of these seem very interesting.
Well, another negative review on Rotten Tomatoes relates to that exact sentiment.
Let's hear it.
Would you like me to read it?
I'd like it, Tom.
I can't do Tom because he's still rendering, but Lindelof did a terrific job of piling on the plot twists, but neglected to provide a believable textured world. As a result, Lost is at once heart-stopping but strangely dull. So I agree.
So let me ask you this, Paul. If your intention is to never watch Lost again, should we spoil the remainder of Lost for Paul right now?
No, because I might watch it again. Just
Oh,
right
now
now.
you want to watch it? Okay, well, never mind, Paul. I guess you don't want to know.
Paul, when you're ready to put the plug back in, let us know, and I'm ready to do season 2 whenever you are. Just let me know.
Okay, I think I just need maybe a year or maybe 2 years.
It's like 2 years. You're counting on the world ending in 2 years, Paul. Don't try and trick me.
You're trying to get out of this.
You're
The
trying to
world
get out of this
doesn't
one
end.
way or another.
I will watch season 2.
If the world survives 2 more years.
I do think it's funny that, and we won't go through it, right? I don't want to spoil anything for Paul, but the show famously has a very divisive, so I would say maybe 80-20. Most people did not like the finale. Might have gone through some reconsideration in recent years, but like those, I don't know how much background Paul or anything has it, but Lindelof and what's his name, the showrunners, they were the original DB Weiss and fucktard. I mean, they were until Game of Thrones ended poorly. Like those guys were the ones that you shit on for so long, despite the fact that they both had good projects after. I mean, the one guy went and did Leftovers. Leftovers is fucking great. Has a great finale. Ends well. That knows what it's doing the whole time.
Mhm.
Lindelof made The Watchmen.
Yep. And a lot of it, Paul, is the thing that we've been talking about nonstop is network TV, right? They constantly were getting, okay, you need more. Originally, I think they said they had like 4 seasons mapped out, like something small, and then they wanted to add more, and the writer's strike happens, that stretches shit out for a long time, and then.
Well, yeah, Tom explained it. It was a marketing stunt at the beginning. It was their first huge ad campaign where they used billboards and shit, and they didn't actually agree to do the whole season until 4 episodes went through with millions of viewers. Like they didn't agree to do a whole season.
Well, because it was very expensive to make.
And that's networks too. I mean, they you know what I mean? Usually you have 13 episodes. Back then you would order 13 and then you'd get the back 9 is what they would call it. So like if the show's good, awesome. If not, it's 13 episodes. That's the end of the show. You never fucking hear another word about it forever.
Is that how it works for all shows?
Yeah, Eric, I want to ask Eric. Eric, do you have a big party when you get the back 9?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Big ice sculptures. They the whole 9. They love it.
The whole 9s. Everybody's hitting the back 9 on the golf course.
You go to the golf course.
No, we all get very excited here on the crew.
How many episodes is in The Walking Dead?
For more days of the same scripts. What?
How many episodes are on The Walking Dead?
How many episodes are? Oh, they do.
What kind of question is that?
What kind of question? I'm trying to think. They usually do like 16, 18 episodes, something like that. Somewhere between like 10 and 20. It depends on the season and how well it's doing.
So never like 25.
No.
That's only 5 less, Paul.
Yeah.
But also, Paul, so it's on AMC.
Episodes.
It's not on a network. It's not on ABC or CBS or Fox or something like that.
And I would say that 20 episodes is a lot of episodes in the modern age for a show to have, really, because most seasons are 10 episodes long now.
And you guys, even on Fear, it's mostly there's usually a season break too, right? They split that. It's always split up now.
Usually after, since Breaking Bad started that fad of doing that kind of thing.
Breaking Bad, or did The Sopranos?
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right.
You're
right. Sopranos. That's what I meant. But I said
and ruin everything for all of us forever, including movies. Even Harry Potter was like, well, Tony did too. We got to do too.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be dead. Who gives a shit what I do?
My kid's turning into me.
My kid's me, and I was him as a boy.
Very funny Sopranos stuff on She-Hulk, by the way. I can't plug that show. I don't care what Rotten Tomatoes says. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
They probably shot She-Hulk down there in Georgia too, Paul. I bet.
I believe they did.
Yeah, it's in Atlanta. Yeah.
It takes place in Atlanta, or if they just shot it in Atlanta?
No, they shot it in Georgia.
Did she twerk? The She-Hulk?
Answer the question. Did she twerk?
And it's amazing.
I saw a meme where it's her doing the twerk in the background. Is like, do men find this attractive? Was like a question in big white letters.
The problem they should really, if they had just made her green makeup, like it would be fine. The problem is, they don't spend as much money on the show, and all this stuff coming out about their digital animators and how overworked they are. They had a lot less prep time on episodes of a show than a movie, so she looks like a PlayStation 2 graphics in a room full of normal looking people, And it's just, or sometimes in the early episodes when she's next to the Incredible Hulk and he looks like as good as he does in the movies. She looks like-
Yeah, they have the assets probably. So that brings us to a good point of conversation. That's using CGI in these television shows. It didn't really become a thing until early 2000s. I would guess,
Until
right?
Sopranos, when they had to
Yeah.
replace Mom's head.
That's right. And Tony ruined it for everybody again. Now I just watched that new ILM documentary show on Disney Plus, and that whole it's a fantastic series. And the whole time you just see digital CGI creeping up in the background before it just switches and overtakes the entire industry. So now I'm sorry, Paul, go ahead.
Well, I mean, it's cheaper, faster, a whole bunch of errs that make it better, from a
Final
business
error.
point of view. But I guess I if you go back and see the original Star Wars, the graphics they use there just they hold up and they're good. Nothing like it, the polar bear in Lost is a joke. There's
the smoke monster. Right, look how bad he looks, Paul. He looks terrible.
That was
I'm
pretty
sorry.
funny.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said he. Excuse me.
Yeah, you assigned it a gender.
It's a they. My
It's a
apology.
smoke monster for crying out loud.
Well, Paul, in the 80s, ILM was really just making the most incredible, crazy shit. And it was just two guys who go, you don't need to do dinosaurs for stop motion for Jurassic Park. We'll make them in CGI. And they proved they could do it, and it was off to the races. They never looked back for anything. And they just shut down their whole practical effect department, basically.
well, I mean, in that same movie, Jurassic Park, the Tyrannosaurus, when it's on its side breathing,
Yeah.
that's my favorite part of that movie. And
It's
it's
the
a real,
Triceratops.
it's a real dinosaur.
That's what you think it is. It's real.
It is real. It's not fake. They found a real
Triceratops.
Triceratops.
What do you guys make of the smoke monster when you see it in action? It sounds like Gears. We got to watch Paul's reaction to it live.
It looks like a mistake. It looks like they accidentally left it in.
God's mistake.
You're kind of. I agree, Paul. It looks like they were like, well, the real monster we're gonna put in later, but the previs is just this dumb thing.
Smudge.
Yeah, and then they're like, oh, cool. So it's gonna look better later, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's Jack going, yeah, it is.
Yeah, cool.
I'm supposed to be scared of this?
Mm.
He goes, well, I like how they throw dynamite on it. And it's so low in the ground.
Did you like it grabbing John Locke? I mean, I remember being genuinely creeped out by that.
He was ready to go down there. Paul, what do you make of that? Is he a nut?
They should have let him go. I mean, why not?
They should have let him go. You're right about that, man.
I mean, again, I've said this so many times. Nothing's resolved. They open the latch. Okay, we don't even see really what's in there. This
But
episode.
now you know what's in there.
Well, yeah, because y'all spoiled it for the first episode of season.
I don't
2,
know
but
what's in there.
What do you
Eric
think's in
doesn't
there, Eric?
Marie. Waiting for Hank to come home.
In a perfect replica of her living room.
That'd be awesome. It was a crossover to the.
I don't know.
Breaking Bad.
I feel like computers or machines or something. I don't know.
You're not
Maybe.
far off.
You're pretty close, man.
I feel like there's
Pretty close.
screens and buttons down there. And technology that shouldn't be there. I don't know.
Paul, you sound like you know what's in there. Honestly, the way
Me?
you're talking. Yeah.
You're very close.
I don't know what's in there. I really don't. And at the end of the episode, I'm like, well, I know at least that they've been building up to this moment all season. They're gonna give them something. So I
Nope.
watched my phone while that happened, and nothing
They
happened.
give you nothing.
They give you
They
nothing.
They give
You know
you
what they give
Jordan
you? They
Peele's
give you
note.
more commercials.
Yeah, they gave you more. Really, they just they really. It's just a show about dragging on stories.
exactly.
It's not a
real
show
good.
about yeah. There's no resolution.
And
So,
listen,
Paul-
and I'm not saying that that's okay, guys, but does anyone remember what TV used to be? Because this is what it was.
Evidently not.
I know, but there's such a fan base behind this, and I don't know why is my thing.
What is Frasier to you then, Eric? Because that shit was 25 episodes of
That's
season 2.
good writing. It's funny. It's about joke. That show is about making jokes, and the jokes are funny. It's
Was it-
done,
what-
that, it's done. It's served its purpose every
So
episode.
you guys did all of Frasier. I've seen some of it, but I do remember, like, even in laugh track sitcoms of that day and time, like Friends and stuff, there would be big cliffhanger episodes at the end of seasons. Was there a big, like, is Niles going to get married? Cliffhanger in a
There
Frasier?
was
Well,
one that involved Niles running away with the bride. Yes.
There was one where Niles was in the hospital and they thought he was going to die. There's a
Yep.
Niles. He has like an artery issue or something from eating all the fancy cheese and drinking fancy wine all his life.
Nice.
Well,
Hey, you got to go.
Yeah.
to be fair to Lost, they did just enough for me not to think it was a bait and switch. Like with that first episode, it pulls you in, and then they switched it to junk after that you couldn't get out of, just to feed you commercials. But yeah, I could think that, but they put some work into this show. I think. I mean, it's not easy to weave together that many backstories.
No.
There were some clever bits. They just, they cut corners in some places and they milked it for a lot. But, millions of people watched it, and this is what we have as a history as a people, as a culture. We're stuck with this shit for forever.
We're stuck. This is all we can do.
This is our Zeus. This is our
Yeah,
Perseus.
Our Ulysses.
I find it very interesting, and we were on the last 5 episodes where I bothered to go and start looking at the Lost subreddit, which had like blown back up in popularity, and I didn't realize this show became super popular during quarantine.
Oh,
I mean,
that's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think because there was so much of it, and it was this cultural touchstone that maybe people remember but just never got around to or something.
It's just
I
like
think
Beanie Babies. It blew up
Just-
also.
Just like
And
Beanie Babies.
Just after Beanie Babies too, if you think about it, this is probably the spiritual successor to Beanie Babies.
There's got it. I mean, there's a Princess Di Beanie Baby. I don't know if there's a Queen Beanie Baby. That might say something about her. I don't know if there's a Locke Beanie Baby.
There should be. There should be a smoke monster for sure. It's just a
What-
black ball.
What would his name be? What would his little poem be, Paul?
Oh, let's look up some Beanie Baby.
I will say I was having a ball at the third part when those weird pirates show up and just start causing all kinds of mayhem.
Did you
Steal
recognize?
that child?
So you did like we were. Paul seemed absolutely uninterested in them, but when MC Gainey, I don't know if you recognize that guy, Eric.
No, I
he's in
didn't.
a ton of stuff. Where he just goes, "Yeah, we're gonna have to take the boy."
Yeah, exactly. I thought that was hilarious.
I at the time when I watched this, I mean, way back when in my mom's living room on the DVDs that Alan had let me borrow, undoubtedly was more interested in the Hatch. But like, I think about how good that line sticks with me. I remember that line, and like that was the better ending. Like the better big.
Yeah,
touch
and his
point.
son screaming, and like in a show that is built out of nothing but dragging on story and creating. I honestly think I've only seen a few episodes, but this show is about cliffhangers. That is the show.
Yeah.
This is a great cliffhanger. The pirates
it's
show
great.
up and stealing the kid, and the kid's
And-
crying his head off, and his dad is in the water. They blew up his boat the second
We have-
time.
We haven't seen anybody else. We don't know where these people are from. We think it's a rescue, and then they're here for a bad reason for some reason.
In my mind, I was like, if I had taken the journey of this entire season, this would be a pretty good payoff. For like,
Now,
Paul,
Did I share with you guys any of the Todd McFarlane stuff? I'll let you talk. I'm sorry, Alan, but I want to know if you guys ever saw any of the Lost Todd McFarlane action figures.
buddy, you wouldn't believe how
What?
close I came to buying them throughout this entire ordeal, so I could bring out a little Locke or a little Jack.
I wanted to buy. You remember they have a Hatch set. That was what I wanted to get, but they're so expensive.
They were too
How much
expensive.
are they?
I'll go. Let's check it out. Let's go
I'll
look
buy
it
one.
up right now. I'll
Okay.
look it up right now, Paul. Hold on.
Paul's got some dispensable income.
Paul's got money for this.
Make sure you don't pull up season 2 action figures.
I'll add
Oh
it to
my
my
God.
Beanie Baby collection.
There was a whole line, and it was like Todd. They were going to do more, and it got canceled because nobody was buying them. Apparently,
Because I don't think anybody. I mean, what fun are you getting out of a Lost action figure? Really, it's like
I feel like it would be an older audience, too old to want action figures. For this.
Well, they're hoping for the collector market. I'm sure.
well, the shipping on the Hurley figure was an arm and a leg because he's so fucking fat.
Only
That's
$20,
Kate.
Paul, for your own Kate figure.
Oh, I would get that one, then I would get the U.S. soldiers, and I'd put them at war.
Thank God.
The U.S.
You know, the little soldier
Little
figurines.
green guys.
Yeah,
The little-
green guy.
Hurley does cost more. He's a little more fatter.
He's more
See,
material.
I wonder what Tom Hanks would say about those little green army men if he had the opportunity.
Oh,
To Andy's room.
Because if a show doesn't do anything to help my son Pinocchio, I'm not watching it.
oh man, these actually exist. So there's a factory somewhere in China where there's a guy holding. There's a whole line of fat.
Well, there
Hurleys
was
just-
a factory in China, Paul, in 2005. That factory
Can
for
you-
long.
The mold still exists somewhere. The machines. Can you pull up the hatch set? That was definitely. I would put that on a desk or something. Or on a
If they
bookshelf.
open the hatch and there's a bunch of action figures down there of everyone on the island, wouldn't that be cool?
It's us.
What?
Some people just playing with them on the.
What?
floor.
It's like Ernest Scared Stupid. There's a troll down there.
Well, why didn't that work?
I should be a writer. I felt like anyone could be a writer on this. Just throw an idea out and they're like, "Yep, we're doing it." Fuck it.
That's
Well,
exactly what I've said before. It is anything can happen on Lost. Anything you want.
Well, here's your friend Maggie Grace in figure form.
Oh, being
Let's see.
racist.
Well, yeah, being racist in the beach.
Yeah.
Being sexualized.
Some Arab guy left his bag.
Some Arab guy left his bag of toys of all the people on this flight.
What do you
think he's
look
up
like?
to?
Arab.
I mean, he was kind of hot. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah, she.
in a pinch, I would sleep with him. But
If I was stuck on an island with them, yeah, maybe.
if I had to adopt a dog, he'd be a pretty good dog dad, I guess.
Did anyone cry? Paul, did you cry when the dog jumped in the ocean after?
That
you
was
did?
that was the most emotional I've gotten this entire season.
Did you
of
picture
Lost.
Digit? Like, if you had to give Digit away to
Yeah.
somebody,
And then I was so angry to see Shannon just sexual Shannon, the character on Lost, just
Not
me.
pulling that dog around without any slack in the leash with total disregard. I mean, that's an
Pretty-
animal. You don't do that. It was like almost animal abuse. I was
Borderline
Curious.
abuse. All right, so before we, I have the hatch playset up here. Before we go to it, how much do you think it's going for on eBay right now? Unless Shannon, do you know?
I won't guess because I've seen some
Well,
of them.
let's
yeah.
let Paul and Eric guess. How
well,
much do you think
so
this-
each character by itself was like $20, and there. Let's see if it was the set would have at least 5 of them.
And this is Todd McFarlane, Paul, the creator of Spawn.
I'm
He
going
created
with
Spawn.
125.
Paul says 125. Eric, what's your guess?
3,000. 3,000.
Eric's saying $3,000.
That-
With inflation in Joe
Wouldn't it be
Biden's
great if
America,
Spawn was down there? If Spawn was in the hatch?
If you want
Wow.
it bad enough, 200. That's it.
$200 for to own. And look, and Paul, you're right. There's almost 5 figures in here.
But look at that
Holy
detail,
Christ.
man.
What is going
This-
on?
This one's still in the box.
I guess this. I mean, this was a pretty popular show. It was.
Does it light up or anything? Like
It says "Light Up" feature, my man, right there.
It was the most popular premiere that year besides Desperate Housewives.
I think there's a lot of besides that.
So I
That's
knew.
right. I remember somebody saying that. I can't remember who. There
Sounded
was
like a cowboy.
sound like Geppetto.
The new Geppetto, maybe. Wow, Charlie gives you a drive shaft ring. That's the best one of them all. And look, he's in heroin mode in this one.
Oh yeah, when that little statue busted open, there was heroin in it. I was like, anything can happen on the show.
I can't believe we're just now looking at Lost McFarlane toys for the last 10 minutes. So,
I mean, I've been looking at these figures since we started doing this. So
we almost bought the toys. Let's also get to our final, probably ever Qualls Quatch. Our boys
he never
Qualls
showed up.
Wasn't
He
in there.
never
Never
showed up.
showed up. So I'll give you this little spoiler, Paul. Qualls is in season 2 of Lost.
I think it was a predicament of mine that Qualls never showed up.
And
I get it.
my intention when Qualls showed up was to book a cameo of DJ Qualls saying, "At last, your Qualls Quatch has ended." And now we're not ever going to get to do that. And I just said it, meaning I'll never do it.
I might do it.
Okay.
Just to-
So you're retiring, Alan. Is this your big finale?
I am retiring as the manager of DJ Qualls. Yes, I'll no longer represent that man. He has defrauded me.
What did he do to you?
He stole my car. You can believe it.
Is he really on Cameo?
He is on Cameo, yes, but I don't think he's taking bookings right now. I
I'm
did
sure
look
he
good for
is, yeah.
perhaps this last episode, but and he goes, "Sorry, fellas, not this time."
Well, next time.
No, Eric, I'm not.
They also
announcing
another
anything
company
like
made a
that.
Joke Arts toy. If anyone cares about it,
Do you have a link to it? Post it real quick.
What'd you say, Alan?
No, I'm trying to find it. It was highly flammable toys. It's a like a joke brand, and but they made a art.
If you're listening to this podcast and you're going, well, there's large swaths where it seems like they're just looking at toys, you can go to We All Everybody Lost Rewatch on Twitch and see those bad boys in action. Let's get to our Animal Brain bracket. Let's wrap this bad boy up. Do you want to take one more last look at the predicament list too, Paul, before we close the hatch? Quite literally.
I think we crossed a lot off this episode.
Here we go. This is Paul's predicament list. Before we get to the Animal Brain bracket, we're going to do this.
There's a list of predicaments.
These are things that Paul's been bugging Paul the entire.
Never resolve the monster, the polar bear, French woman.
I think it has been resolved.
Paul, you told us you isolated a few things that you wanted answers for at the end of this episode. Those are the purple, I believe. Am I correct?
Sure. I think you did.
No,
Claire's Antichrist. Claire's Antichrist baby. Where is he? Now we know. Yes, they got him back for her.
They got him back, man.
Charlie had to put gunpowder in his cut.
Oh, yeah, they got the baby back.
Think about it, Paul. Rousseau was saying they want the boy. Which boy did they get? They didn't get that boy. They got Walt.
They got a different boy.
It was Walt that they wanted.
Those weren't pirates at all, Eric. They were the others.
That's what I mean. I did put that together.
So Ethan, Rom, and the others, you can mark that one too. You saw them.
No, we never saw.
They have a boat, Paul.
So, and we don't know those were the others. Those were off the island.
It's MC Gaming.
Who do you think those people were?
Pirates.
You know what?
You can't just say pirates just because what Eric said.
That guy was a good captain because he thought not to shoot the flare off. Everyone else pressured him into doing it.
Mm-hmm.
How would you act in that situation, Paul? Would you be on Team Wildman or Team Michael's side?
They've got one flare, and it was
they got
at night, right?
Yep.
Were they in the shipping lane already? I would at least wait till they're in the shipping lane.
How is he going to know when he's in the damn shipping lane, though? It's a wooden boat.
They had radar.
Which, by the way, during our live show, Eric, we could hear Paul reacting. Paul could not hear us. And Paul just goes, they have radar! And we died laughing, despite the fact that we had just talked about the radar and how confused we were as to why it would work. But we did see it go on the boat in the previous episode.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's from, I guess we're supposed to assume it's from the plane.
Yeah.
I don't know how it works on a boat.
This is a pretty good show now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, it's not like we know what the battery is or anything yet.
I love when Mike. I like when Michael goes, "Please God."
Yeah.
It's just a good line reading for that. So you think Ethan, Rom, and the others, you don't know enough about them?
I mean, if I really put just those three, I'll give it a pass. We saw others.
He gives the predicament list a pass, folks. Wow.
I'll give it a pass. So it wasn't a total failure.
Wow.
Besides everything else.
I'll save my last question for the end of the show.
Well, I think we have a clear. Well, actually, we don't have a clear winner here.
And so, Eric, if you're not familiar with this is, we started a bracket a long time ago somehow, and this is the end of it here. This is the Animal Brain bracket. These are the final three left, the final round.
So the raft draft clearly lost.
They blew up.
They were, one of them got shot. Yeah, they got blown up. They're clearly.
They're out.
They're out. It's kind of close between the last two teams here because they kind of succeeded in their goals. AA Ron All Stars, they got AA Ron back, and Dr. Arts and Friends, they got the latch open. But
which was more fulfilling to you?
I guess the latch opening the latch left me feeling so empty without knowing what was down there. I think I would knock them down and give it to Claire's.
I wonder how many episodes into season 2 you find out what's in the latch. I wonder how long they drag it out at the beginning of the season.
The only reason I'm not going to show you right now is because we showed it the last time we
did
it.
We just did it, yeah.
Unless Paul and Shannon want to do it again, I'm not willing. It's up to them.
I'd be happy to do it. I don't mind. If Eric is genuinely interested.
Are you genuinely interested, Eric?
Yes.
All right. So let's watch that clip, and then we'll decide on this final this final team here and see where we go. So give me 1 second here. So at the end of the rewatch or the watch along we did with Paul, he was in the same boat as you, out in the water, no one around. So we told him, well, we're just going to watch this real quick. It's a 3-minute clip. It's from episode 1 of season 2 of Lost. It's how the whole season starts.
Okay.
And if this gets us pulled from Twitch, it didn't do it last time, so we'll see what happens.
I think we're okay. Yeah.
Okay, who cares?
Break the rules, man.
Eyeball.
There's my-
Eyeball, blinking light. Oh, an old computer. Someone said that earlier. Me?
How did they get Tom?
Walter talking to Saul. The flashback.
He's typing up his letter to his brother.
Time machine. That's the dumbest question I've ever heard.
Somebody has a plush life down there.
Do any of y'all have lava lamps?
Oh yeah.
What color was it?
What color was my lava lamp? I think it was red.
Okay.
Tucker
Yeah.
had one. Ryan
Okay.
loved his. It was so cool.
Down there. What do you mean down there, man? I see light, don't you?
This guy needs to clean up.
This is the Mama and the Papas, Paul, if you're not familiar.
Look how
with the-
clean that sink is. It's like
Yeah,
he's never
brand
used it.
spanking.
Not a spoiler, but this kind of becomes an unofficial, important theme song for the remainder of the show. They bring
Yes.
this song back multiple times.
They do this exact same thing for season 3, episode 1, only with a different character.
It's like an American Psycho scene right there.
Yeah, he's just doing the face mask. In the
I put the
shower.
cooling gel on after my shower. I'm Batman.
You do smoothies, Eric?
Sometimes I used to. Not really anymore.
Not ever since you got from under that underground hatch.
I can't stomach them anymore. Oh!
He just injected himself with something. I bet
Try-
that's
Do you see a logo? Try to keep an eye out for a logo, Paul, on the walls this time. Tell me you noticed one.
I think I saw one a little while ago.
Look familiar?
Right when the cabinet where he opened the drugs. This is just like reminds me of a recent movie that came out with Chris Hemsworth, where he's on an island and they're testing out drugs that can control people.
Thor?
Spiderhead.
Thor 4.
Yeah, Spiderhead. That's it.
Thor 4.
Is it basically the plot of Spiderhead? Is what Lost
Thor
is?
4.
Thor 4. Love and Bore.
Sorry, Paul. I don't
There's
know.
that logo.
No, Paul, it's not the plot of Spiderhead. It's your
There's
question.
that,
busy.
logo, Paul.
Oh, that's right. I remember that thing.
It's our logo,
look
bro.
familiar, Paul? It's our logo.
Oh.
Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do.
So it's the plot. It's the plot of Spiderhead, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, they went back in time and ripped off Spiderhead from the future. A hell of a thing, if you ask me.
Spiderhead ripped off Lost. Oh,
You go.
there they are.
There they are. I said it then, I'll say it now. One of the best openings in television history.
Oh, really?
Season two is way better. Like, hands down, season 2 is much better. It's probably the best season of the show.
I'm about to binge season 2. I'm not going to wait week to week.
Out of how many
No.
seasons? How many seasons?
6.
Six
Six.
seasons.
Oh, okay. That's not too bad.
And one is pretty abbreviated because of the writer's strike. What is
Isn't
it?
it-
3 that they do? It's season 3. They come back. They do 6 episodes, and people were super pissed. And then they come back and do like 10, maybe I think.
Yeah, season 3 is no good. All right, so fine. So who do you give? Now you know what's down there. There's a man down there. He's got a clean sink.
I still give it to Claire because Jack doesn't know. Like the team, Dr. Arndt and Memoriam don't know. They're still in confusion. We know, but they don't know.
But everyone knows where Aaron is. He's in Claire's arms.
Yeah, they're the clear winners, I think, because they're
Wow,
happy
what a comeback! Who would have guessed Claire
Mm-hmm.
of all the people would win?
She got the baby back. back. She did
She
it.
got the baby. She got everything she wanted. The baby back.
It's the
I
only
got-
happy ending, right?
I got another. Yeah, I mean it's happy. I guess Charlie's got gunpowder in his fucking face.
And Virgin Mary's all over the ground.
I sent you a link there. That's going to be going to an even better eBay auction that I think we got a chance of winning.
So this is, of course, MC Gainey, who plays the pirate captain.
There's a signed photo of him from Wild Hogs.
And look, there's recently deceased actor Ray Liotta.
Rest in peace. It's only $25. I think we got a pretty good shot.
It's actually $35.
I'm
By
sorry.
the way. Now I could get Hurley from Lost at Toy for that much money.
My bad. I mean, if you're a big Gainey head, that you frame that fucker.
I do like that MC. His signature is pretty tight.
Yeah, he signs it right on Ray Liotta's leg.
Big G. And he goes, F this dude, and the arrow pointing up to Ray Liotta.
I bet he quits smoking like a pussy and then dies.
So before we get to if Paul's going to pull the plug on this podcast, and I think the writing's on the wall, quite honestly.
Season two.
Let's get to our last Some Awful Take of season 1. Last week we showed you everyone's reactions to when Arts blew up. This is everyone's reaction to the ending of the episode. So we kick it off with Schrodinger's cat. He says hatch, hatch, hatch. Edit, holy shit. DM Punk goes hatch. Hot hatch action. OMG, hatch is open. Oh God, show the inside. Hatch. It's open. Pandora's vagina is open. Here we go. We don't care about that. Is that the monster I hear? Fuck, it's just a bird. Those guys too far behind. Bullshit. What a cock tease. Holy shit, those stupid C words. Here's the fucking hatch. Oh God, yes. The TNT worked. Oh God, it's the fucking hatch to the fucking others. Oh my God.
What do you think the C word they meant was? Corgis?
Oh yeah, Corgis in memoriam of the Queen, I think. God damn it. No. Fuck this show. A fucking ladder. Fuck you, Abrams. No. Blue balls. Fucking worthless.
Yeah, some people were upset. I mean, again, I wasn't live for this.
You know who was
season,
happy? Me. Damn it, all to hell. That was awesome. There you go.
Well, knowing what they have in store for the opening to, how they want to show you what's down there, that is pretty cool.
You had to wait 5 months.
5 months. What did you do in that 5 months? People were just waiting by their TVs?
Just kept sharpening a knife.
Yeah.
One of these days, I'm going to know what's down there.
Cleaning your sink more.
It was the summer of Spider-Man 2, I think, probably. You would have seen Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, I would have been hyped on Spider-Man 2 probably the summer.
Oh, nice.
SB2.
We had a lot to look forward to.
I can't believe you brought up the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man because I was going to text you guys this. Do you know that the Zoomers are now obsessed with the bad Peter from Spider-Man 3 and they have a specific name for him?
What is his name?
His name is Bully Maguire.
What?
You guys, I cannot speak highly enough of the show. This Fool, you guys have to watch this show on Hulu. It reminds me of like Victoria and stuff too. It's set in LA, but it's like that culture and everything.
Yeah.
And I won't do the voice because I'm not allowed to do the voices.
Thank God. That's why you want us to watch so we could do the voice for you.
But that's all I want. I just want permission. The guy. So the whole thing is his cousin gets out of jail. After being gone, being away for like 10, 12 years or whatever, and he works to reform him. He works at a place called Hugs, Not Thugs, and it's like gangster rehabilitation or whatever. And the guy just keeps making all these old jokes and shit. He's making like, jokes about, whatever was popular culture at the time. He goes, man, it's not 2006 anymore. Tobey Maguire's not Spider-Man anymore. It's like a reoccurring joke over and over again. It's so fucking funny.
Yeah, I keep seeing ads for that on my Instagram. I wonder why.
Dude, it's like 8 or 10 episodes. It's 30 minutes. It goes down super. Katie and I blew through it. And Katie,
is that the one with Christopher?
Yes, yeah, and he's amazing. I mean, like so fucking funny. He plays this ultra like socialist liberal guy. And Fred Armisen, it's his like executive show and stuff.
Oh, is it really? That's awesome.
Yeah. He shows up in it a little bit, but not
cool.
annoyingly amount. You know how he's half the time he's in too much of something.
Yeah,
it sounds great. So much like Jack and Locke here peering down the latch hole, we are peering at Paul as he threatens to pull the plug on this show. Paul,
Yank.
take it away. We just said
I know,
yanked.
I've already pulled it. It's gone, man. It's
Now, is that a permanent plug issue, or is this something where we can plug it back in a few years once
I'll
we're
put
all
it this
in your
way,
bunker?
I unplugged the extension cord, I wrapped it up, and I put it back in the garage.
But that's what I do at Christmas, and then next year I bring it back out.
Yeah, I mean,
Christmas
I'm
rolls
not
around.
going to say, never. I mean, if it does look like the end of the world's coming, we'll put it back on. Why not?
Why not?
All
Why
right.
not? Why not document our crumbling society via the Lost podcast?
So we're gonna start the My Name Is Earl one.
No, we're not starting that.
Oh, okay.
I like
mean,
My Name Is
I'll
Earl.
throw away Crabman's quiz then that I worked so hard
Eric,
on.
you would have loved last week's episode. We talked so much about My Name Is Earl.
I remember watching quite a bit of that. I don't know if I can recall any of the episodes, but I
Can you
like
recall every episode?
Sure, let's give it a shot.
Do you remember when he was in a coma?
I think I do remember that.
Sure, I commit to 30 episodes.
I
of this. Let's go.
can't walk around work stressfully watching My Name Is Earl. Someone will fire me.
Someone's gonna write you up for that, man. They're not gonna let you do
Is he
that.
okay?
Yeah, he keeps walking around. He's crying. He's watching My Name Is Earl.
He's staring at his phone. Is he waiting to get some news from a doctor?
He looks stressed. You can see it in his eyes.
He's just watching Earl.
Yeah, he just keeps watching. He just keeps putting on another one after the other.
He won't stop talking about karma.
Wow. Well, hey, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you guys for doing a whole season of this when it was just an idea when the high-low cast was ending. Speaking of which, I'll say it right now. We're going to do a 5th anniversary high-low cast episode, and maybe there will be some big retirement announcements made on that thing.
And maybe we will watch My Name Is Earl.
And maybe we will do a Pinocchio commentary track at some point throughout the potentially 5-hour long. We need to really talk logistics here because 5 hours is such a long time. It's too long. Y'all shouldn't have humored me in such a way.
Yeah,
We can watch some Lost,
I'm
probably.
rethinking some things. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we can watch some episodes of Lost in there. I'm sure no one's problem with that. This has been the We All Everybody, a great Lost rewatch podcast. I think it's been so funny. Paul, final thoughts. Do you regret watching Lost season 1?
I have no regrets. I think though,
That's
it's
period
time-
across life, right?
That's for everything. No regrets. I'll try anything once, but I think it's time to just take a breath of fresh air. Right? Take a breather. Let's look around. Let's see what's out there. This has
What are you
been
looking-
Paul's perspective of whatever this is.
If I ever go to Hawaii, I have no regrets. If I ever go to Hawaii, I would definitely go to the beach. Like I would want a picture on the Lost beach.
Oh, if I was in Hawaii, I would be on the Lost tour in a heartbeat. I
Yeah.
love this show. This season did encourage me to keep watching. I'll be watching season 2.
It's like if
my
you
own
go to New
face.
Zealand, you're gonna go look at the fucking Hobbit houses.
I gotta
You
see
got-
those little houses, of
You're gonna
course.
see it. If you're in
I mean-
Savannah, you're gonna look at the Morgan house.
If you go to Albuquerque, you're gonna go to Marie's house.
You're gonna go to see where Hank got shot in the desert.
What is the Morgan house? Is that the house that Morgan now lives in the show?
You'll see.
Oh, great! I love it. I love it. I saw, and it was him in front of like a nice old Southern house, and I was like, oh, I guess he's in Spain.
It's a house shaped like Morgan's head, like BB Bluffs High School.
My dad bought this house for me.
We're doing a Doug rewatch next.
Oh man, now that would be good.
Alan, are you okay?
Sign me up for that one.
No joke. The other day I was just going. Doo, 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 doo.
I had a dream about Doug last night.
Sometimes when folks doing
Maybe that's why I mentioned BB Bluffs.
sometimes when folks doing something wrong, I yell at him for biting BB.
BB? Who bit BB?
Yeah, remember when Pork Chop bites BB?
He saved her.
I know,
I
but
remember that.
but that's not what the town thought.
Right after Skeeter blew up when he showed all the kids what dynamite was about.
So stay tuned for our complete Doug retrospective.
Can you imagine a school shooting at BB Bluff High?
No,
Oh my God.
No, we should have stopped it.
Oh God! Goodbye.
Goodbye. See ya.